Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
And Nico is going to talk about how gravel biking can unlock economic opportunities for rural regions. Nico Graf from Mountain Bike Forum. We're super happy to have you here, and enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I think sound is good. Hola a todos. I'm very, very honored to be here. I'm going to talk about what was mountain biking 15 years ago, but now it has a drop bar. It's called gravel biking. You might have heard of it. It got huge in Germany, and I bet in your countries as well. I will shortly introduce our organization. So I'm from the Mountain Bike Forum Germany. We are not a national member of IMBE. We are an associated member because we look more on the professional side of mountain biking, or you can also say as a business side as well. Why do we do it? We want to make mountain biking accessible more close to home, and we also want to have living regional areas through mountain biking in Germany. How we do that? We started 2015 in organizing the German mountain bike conference, and at that point we asked ourselves, like, who's this mountain biker? Like, what do they do? What do they like? Where do they go to on holiday? What infrastructure do they need? What services do they want? And you know, kind of those things from your gut feelings, from your experience. But we wanted to bring this on a more research level, to have some more hard facts, because this helps you a lot in giving argumentations with politicians and so on. So it's the mountain bike conference we do each year. The mountain bike monitor is actually the study I'm going to present you today, the data from the gravel biking, and some signage and other standardization things we try to do to evolve quality in mountain biking in all Germany. I'm going to skip this slide because most of you will know what the gravel biking is. In Germany, sometimes we really start very low and explain what a gravel bike is, because it might be necessary. People might not know it. I think it's always valuable to question your own bubble and start and get people from where they're standing. So this is the series of the mountain bike monitor market research we started in 2015, and we asked about travel behavior, travel intensity, destinations people like to go to, and their interests, what they do. We started quite good with over 3,000 participants, but we weren't satisfied with that, and had a deeper look in 2018, reaching as well more to the values of people and where they're situated. So taking more an approach of a social milieu and having this overlapped with our mountain bike studies, so other regions could adapt them to their market research as well. And our latest study on mountain biking was 2022, and we had a closer look at infrastructure. So we not only asked about travel behavior, travel intensity, and as well the brand funnel of the region, so like which area in Germany is most known or thought as most suitable for mountain biking, but as well like on which kind of trails they want to ride, what else they're going to do, and what infrastructure do they want to have in mountain biking, because guests, like in a tourism experience, they're always, a lot of people are not like this core biker, because you ride a bike, your family might not, or you don't want to ride all the days. And then it was natural for us with the upcoming of the gravel bike, which I think it has quite of similarities to the mountain bike back in the 90s, I've heard, to have more data research on that. I tried to break that down a little bit more to European regions, because we asked over 6,000 people in German-speaking countries, so mainly Germany, but as well Switzerland and Austria, what experience do they have? Have they already been biking in one of the destinations I'm going to show you? Or did they have interests and like to go biking there. So this could be for destination their future customers. Or do they think, nah, I've never been there, but it might be suitable for gravel biking at this case. So we asked that in a panel and had the people to decide on 26 European countries, the 16 federal states we have in Germany, the 9 federal states in Austria, because it's very valuable data for them. And of course, for the German regions, we could go more to detail to look at more at 46 destinations or regions in Germany. So we're going to focus on the European level here. And of course, where people have been writing in a German-speaking survey is in Germany first, and in Austria it's close. It's close where people live who answer the survey. And it also says that Italy, Switzerland, and the rest of Italy, because we had a special look at South Tyrol, are the top 5, which is maybe not so surprisingly because they are traditional mountain bike destinations, and they offer, besides good mountain bike infrastructure, also gravel infrastructure. And I think this is, for emerging gravel countries, gravel destination, one of the most interesting results. They would like to go gravel biking there, and what surprised us a little, that Scandinavia ranks quite high in all of that. So Norway, Sweden, Italy is very constantly, Portugal pops up suddenly, and Finland comes up to people when they say, okay, where would you like to go to gravel biking? And I think that's a difference between mountain biking and gravel biking, because people would automatically think a lot more about Alps and those regions. But we have quite a tradition in Germany to go to the Scandinavian countries, and it also connects to the wish of nature experience gravel bikers did express. Yeah, and then come this more like it's the biggest potential, let's say, for other European countries. I had a look for today for the Spanish people here to have a look when you combine the first 2 items. I've been already biking there, and I have interest in. I would like to go gravel biking there. That's the top 15. So Spain comes up 10th, I think. So a lot of, if you would look now as a Spanish destination at the German market, which is quite travel affinitive, people coming to your country, they don't have been here for mountain biking already, but I think, but it's very likely they would like to go there. So maybe instead of only targeting gravel bikers to come to Spain, it's also maybe targeting the people from German-speaking countries which are already here to go gravel biking one day and explore maybe new regions in a country which they already know. If you have a look at at top 2, Spain already as well ranks a little bit higher. So this is what we did, for example, for a Danish destination. We have a look at the people who said, I'm interested in biking in Denmark in that case, or in Spain, and compared with the all-over data I'm going to show you now. So we have dive a little bit into demographics. What I really like about gravel biking, it's not so male. It's not so dominant, it's not so aggressive, it's much easier to find into it. And working with mountain biking for now over 10 years, I really find this kind of exclusive myself, that I say, oh, it's always this dudiness, this I'm a real mountain biker and stuff like that. Gravel biking does not have this. It seems to be much more accessible, and you see this, for example, in terms of gender balance. And I spoke with Fiona about it. Why is that? And she said she's gonna talk about that in her session. So please come and visit that. The gravel bikers overall are a little bit younger than mountain bikers. The average age of mountain bikers is 40 years. So we have a little bit younger group, but also not the youngsters. So people do live in a partnership in majority, and most of them, this is same as mountain bikers, and this is I will come later to that. Why is that? is very highly educated. So 75% have a university degree, and like 15% have a higher school degree or are on the way to a diploma. And this is not surprising then as well. This is the income curve from the target group, and it's almost 50% of gravel bikers who have more than the average wage available in Germany. It's, for mountain bike, it's almost the same value, but you know, we point this out because tourism, it's an argument that they have a target group who they can milk down. And what is one more, or I don't, you know, it doesn't make sense at all points to compare it with mountain biking, but gravel biking is even more all-seasonal available. So 65% nearly said they would be riding all year. The main season, of course, at the moment in our, you know, German-speaking countries. Spain might be different as well. Might be even a longer period. Starts in April and goes all over summer. So it's just only January, November, December where you don't have a gravel season. Because, you know, with the right attitude and gear and equipment, people do gravel all year round. This tells you a bit of the intensity and the self-assessment, like what kind of gravel biker I am. And it shows that 50% are very regular biking. They would say, I ride my gravel bike at least once a week during the season, or I ride my biking is my life, so they really feel like core gravel bikers, which is almost the half of the people we asked. And then you have almost 1/3 saying that they ride a gravel bike once in a mile. And there is another group, which we call in mountain bike, in our mountain bike data, target group 0, which people who have an affinity to gravel biking, but are not gravel bikers yet. I think this is, you know, this is a chance when you create offers which you don't need a bike, and you don't go on a bike holiday. You're just on a holiday, and you check out what you want to do with your kids, with your family, on your own. So making gravel biking easily available could be a good start, a good offer for those people. When we have a look at the motives, and this comes more now to the intrinsic value, of course, nature connectivity is a central part of that. It also comes to, it's added up by having adventure experience. The whole bikepacking topic adds up to that. And of course, it's this going out, being outside, and enjoying freedom and the independence to go wherever I want, and if you have a good right to access as well, sleep wherever you want. We then ask, what's your main motive when you're cycling? And I think this is also recognizable that here a lot of gravel bikers really like to embark on long rides. So in mountain biking, a lot of times you go biking for 2 or 3 hours, and you really hit the trails hard, and you're very satisfied. On gravel biking, it's really making kilometers, enjoying the landscape, and really experience in how it's changing, going up and down, and having a much more, having a longer outreach as well, and just, you know, riding all day. So to other very dominant motives is to explore a region more intensively. This connects to what was said in the morning, to cultural experience, and taking trips around. And yeah, I think this is mainly stronger than the mountain biking. You know, the gravel biking, you can use it for a lot of stuff. It's also like very usable for commuting and everyday rides. So the affinity to, look at the time, the affinity to festivals and events is quite high. Though it's not the races which are the most popular one, but more the festivals. So the lifestyle and meeting up with other people, having community rides is stronger than just going on a race and competing with people. So we asked as well, because we want to give destinations or regions a helping hand on how to develop the best mountain bike, the best gravel product for the region. The word gravel biking might be misleading for non-native speaker or for Europeans. So we asked them, what is your preferred path? So who would vote that natural near paths would be the main? What would you need the main ground? Can I see hands? Who's for fine gravel? Who likes that? Who likes asphalt and tarmac on a gravel bike? Not even? Yeah, that's one. That's more or less, I'm going to stop that here, well, what people say. Though we had a little bit tendency to find gravel, we would have thought that as well. But when Tom in the morning talked about this immersive feeling of being in the woods and these trees like a cathedral, I think this is also, it's a human thing we want to experience. And this is also what comes around, that we have nature near paths, which gravel bikers are seeking to. Of course, they are not allowed to be so technically demanding as on a mountain bike, if you don't have a little suspension in the front. And then comes the fine gravel, because you can do a lot of kilometers but still be in the nature. And everything else, tarmac is fine, or at least it's better than coarse gravel or stone paved. So we also had look at much more motives. I don't want to bore you with that, but experience in nature, being active, leave everyday life behind are the top 3 motives for activity. In a touristic offer, it's the landscape. You can't change that, but you can change how is the experience of people riding through that landscape, what are the services people find on that route, and look for food and water and shelter, what they need out there. It's one-night stays accommodations. A lot of time it's in Germany. It might be cultural indicated. And of course, at least in Germany, we are, in Southern Europe as well, we are looking more and more and really having water available for a lot of people. And it's the variety people are looking for. You don't want to always ride the same routes, and it's not always in one landscape. You want to experience the variety of landscapes. So to come to travel behavior, this is really confusing here. That's the main accommodation they choose. So it's still kind of camping. People, camping also became more glamorous. It's all this glamping thing. So it's still the dominant one, but I think it's not. It's more because of the adventure thing than out of an economic motive. And it's hotels and guest house. You have a look at that. And then we ask, of course, okay, what's your, when I create a route, when I create a touristic offer, how long should that be? How much altitude do you ride? And how long do you ride in a day? These values are very high if you would see that as only like the after-work ride. Not a lot of people do 80 kilometers and 800 height meters in 6 hours after work. This is a gravel rider having a day of gravel riding on a holiday. Though we wouldn't recommend to, this sets the barrel very high for beginners. It might be an easy thing to do. So gravel biking 80 kilometers, I can do that easily. It might not be for everybody. And digital communication is key. We ask people, what sources of information do you use to plan your gravel tours? And it's mainly apps, then recommendation from friends and social media. and maybe you look at the website as the destination of websites. So, but the destinations around here will know that. They are more on a second layer of information. And I don't know how it is in Spain, but Komoot is very, very dominant because it's just very laid out. People use it for hiking and other things. Of course, you have the Strava community, but yeah, Komoot is key when it comes to gravel biking or pushing your routes to a German-speaking audience. What to take away in an intrinsic value of gravel biking? Gravel biking does attract more diverse target groups for off-road cycling. You need attractive landscape, nature near passes, and fine gravel is what one of the key hardwares for premium gravel offers. And as well, in mountain biking, I think we have it more present that there's not one mountain biking. There's enduro biking and downhill biking and cross-road cycling or whatever. And for the biking, it's not mountain biking, it's the gravel biking. But I think it does make sense to also have a closer look at gravel biking, at the bike packers, the all-rounders, the race gravelers. We had as well at one point the credit card graveler, the one who has not a lot of time, but a new gravel bike and just a piece of plastic, and he goes out, want to find all the services, but doesn't have a lot of experience, but still loves to be out in nature. So this probably will differentiate much more in the future, as you might have seen on this year's Eurobike or on bike fairs. The gravel bike also gets, like as a bicycle, it does differentiate more. That's for now. I hope it's always hard to speak after a mother tongue speaker. I hope this was understandable more or less. If you have any questions, please bring them up now or see me during the next 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nico. That was amazing.